Hey guys, Andy here at Grenji. Today is Sunday, December 25, and it's 18 degrees out at the moment. So I had this generator, the Predator 3500, sitting in my garage overnight. The last time I started was in the previous video where I tested the 3500 on propane in bad weather, and that was in my previous video, and I'll put the link in below if you haven't seen it yet. So that was the last time since it started. Now, today, had the generators in the garage, just brought it outside, cleared some snow on the bottom over there. You don't want snow to get underneath it and have it underneath the generator be wet. So I made a little spot for it there, and I'm gonna set it outside for a few hours to get it super cold as it can be. Today's, let's see, 18 degrees, a little bit warmer than the previous days. No, two days ago, where it was really not chilly. It was 8 degrees. So for today, we're gonna start it up on natural gas and see how well she starts. All right, time is almost 6 p.m. here, so she's been outside for a little over 2 hours. It's 19 degrees at the moment. I'm gonna start clearing out the front porch of snow and park the generator right over there and hook it up to natural gas. All right, guys, just cleared out the front porch here of snow. Connected the natural gas line to the regulator here. You see how cold the ground is? 30-ish degrees. Let's see how cold the generator is. I did not warm up the generator. All right, let's see how cold that is. The muffler's 25, ground temp 30. All right, I'm gonna crank this over. First, opening up the gas line here. Priming it. Making sure the ESC throttle is off. All right, here we go. Hey, she works great. Starts right up. I'm gonna let it warm up a little bit before I put any load. Turn on my light here. We're gonna come back in a few minutes. All right, she's been warmed up for a few minutes. Right now it's 19 degrees. I'm gonna switch to ESC throttle on, see how she idles. All right. No idle surging, it's not spittering or sputtering. Sounds great still. All right, I'm gonna hook up the heaters on there. I'm gonna run it and see how she runs with 2 heaters on. All right, got 2 heaters connected to the outlet. Each of those heaters is 1500 watts. Total wattage should be around 3000 watts. We're gonna see how she does when she's loaded up. All right, I'm gonna turn on heater number 1, heater number 2. 120 volts, 24 amps, 2,900 watts, almost 3,000 watts. About the same output as if it was on propane during our last test. One 120 volts. I'm gonna surge it. Turn both of those off. See how she idles after a load. So far, doesn't seem like she's losing any power on natural gas. Runs just fine. All right, getting pretty cold out. I'm gonna wrap it up. And the proper way to shut off the generator with natural gas is right here at the valve. All right, everything's back here in my office now. I know folks will ask me, well, how do you set the generator up for natural gas? Do I have to do any adjustments? Is there any extra steps and so forth? No, not necessarily. If you order the kit from me, I will be able to provide you what you need And one of the two questions folks will ask, well, how do I set this up for natural gas? First, once the kit is set up right out of the box for propane, about 75% of the folks that do purchase from me have theirs on propane and they don't use natural gas. But if you want to use natural gas, you will have to remove the pressure regulator. That's the demand regulator. These two are not the same, okay? So it'll have to look like this. This will get input from your gas meter. The gas meter already meters down the pressure, okay? So the pressure is at 1/4 of PSI. You just plug that in here and it feeds into the generator. This is a 100% bolt-on kit. It's a drill-free kit. There's no drilling, there's no cutting, there's no modifications to the generator. Everything just bolts on. It bolts on with the existing mounting points there. Second question I get is, well, how do you switch over from propane to natural gas? Easy. So here's our fuel adapter. Okay, it's made out of aluminum, not 3D print plastic. Fits right in here, like this. Okay, so in this brass fitting here, if you peer down into it, you'll see a screw with a hole in it. Okay, that is removable. So you take your Allen key, you stick that in this hole here, and you unscrew and remove the jet orifice. This is for propane. For natural gas, nothing gets inserted in this hole. Okay, this gets removed. Once this is removed, pop the hose back into the fuel adapter, and you're set up for natural gas. You put the covers on and so forth, and that's it, right? I almost forgot to mention, after that's jet orifice is removed, you would have to go in here, and I call this the high idle adjustment. You need to adjust this out, all right? When you're running on natural gas, this also serves as a high altitude adjustment as well. And you will find more information on how to adjust this precisely within our user guide when you purchase this product. So it's very, very easy to do. It's pretty much on the fly. All right, in summary for this kit, like I said, number one, it's a 100% bolt-on kit. No drilling, no cutting, no modifications. See how it has a charcoal canister, everything's on, the air box is the same, everything else is the same, it just bolts on. There's no other modifications other than putting this kit on this generator. So no drilling, no cutting, no modifications, all right? Number two is plug and play. No need for any fuel adjustments. We do that for you, all right? So once every kit that we have, we test these here at the warehouse or here at the office, and then we ship them out. So it's already set up for propane, and not only that, it's set up for natural gas. You will like it as well too. So no fiddling around with fuel or guessing, hey, is it running right or perfect? No, it should always be running perfect because I set that up for you, okay? And number three, yes, it does complete with all hardware. When you pull everything out of the box, you install it, right? You don't have to run to the hardware store to get anything else. Okay, that's it. Except if you want to set up for natural gas, that's another story. The reason why I have this kit set up for propane right out of the box is because 75 to 8% of my customers, they just run on propane. Only about less than 50% of the whole country has access to natural gas. So not everybody has access to natural gas. So for myself, it's just much easier and more universal to set up on propane than it is for natural gas. If you're lucky enough to have natural gas, additional hoses and additional fittings will have to be purchased, and you can purchase that through me, or you can set that up yourself. All right, and in order to do that, so I mentioned right here that this gets connected to the propane tank, right? That's your source. Well, your source for this is all the way at the gas meter, and from here to the gas meter requires a hose. Okay, and folks are saying, oh, for the price I should get a hose. Well, hose is not cheap. UL listed hose is not cheap. Extra fittings is not cheap. I try to keep the pricing of this kit very, very reasonable. And in order to do that, for my recommendation, I tell folks just set it up on propane. You just screw that into the propane tank and you're all set and ready. It's easy, all right? But the number one thing folks want to do, switch over to natural gas, is I don't have to refill the propane tank. It's much easier just for me to run on natural gas. I'm not going to argue with you. If you want to run natural gas, that's totally fine. It's up to you, but it's going to require a little bit more work, and it's going to require a permit to be pulled if you want to have a natural gas outlet at the house. You just can't go in and yourself and start plumbing stuff. That a contractor has to come out and it has to be inspected, all right? But yes, it is possible. We have that feature for natural gas, and it's not a problem for us to set that up. right? The bracket here is just a temporary bracket. The bracket that I that I have, it's getting worked on at the moment. I don't have it. It's waiting for powder coating. By the time with the release of this video, maybe about a week later, I should be able to stop by the powder coaters and pick up the part. But it will look like this, okay? So I have the EU3000 IS here, and this is already set up for natural gas, and it just hangs off the front panel like this, okay? It's going to be the same way on the Predator 3500. Well, folks are saying, well, everything's in the way in the panel. Not necessary. You can move this around, you can slide this around, have this out of the way to have access to your panels, have access to here, and so forth. And so folks are saying, well, I don't like it up here. You don't have to have it up there. You can take this off, and you can, I'll show that in another video where you can have two mounting, there's two ways to mount the demand regulator on the 3500 if you wish. But I like right here because once everything is on here, it tucks away, okay? Comes in, you can just connect to there, but you just pretend this is the 3500, but it will look similar, just hangs off the front, out of the way. It's not off on the side where you walk by, you're gonna kick it. No, it's right here, it's out of the way. You still have access to the, all right, hear that? Right up to the prime button there, all right? So, and quick show here. So Generac 3500, excuse me, Generac 2500 and the 2200, that's done. The second version of the Predator, that's done as well. The Champion 4500 inverter, that's done. GP 33000i, same as the GP 3000i, same's done. And this right here is getting finished up as well too, and that's done. So I had a lot of work getting all this. There's more in that room as well, but I'll showcase that to you guys later. But all right, guys, if there's any comments, questions, or feedback, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up. I apologize if this video is a little long. I try to summarize it the best I can. I know the reason why it's a little bit long because I want to cover as much as I could, because every time I have a video, customers will email me, I have to listen to that question. I'm going to try to cover it as much as I can without making this video a little too extensive. If I want to get into details, I'll probably do a second or third part of this video, and I can go in more details soon after. So, all right, guys, thanks. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Leave comments and questions. I'll do my best to answer you guys. All right, thanks.